I'm trapped in a hospital and I'm not alone. Part 2. Written by Big Scrimp. To the one person who commented, yes, it's an American hospital. There was staff here, but they weren't the most observant. I'm sorry for not posting in a while, by the way. Anyway, I left off a while ago, but things have gotten a hell of a lot worse. More and more people get caught and tortured. I'm just assuming that's what they're doing. But I have managed to explore a little bit more. I found the ICU, the rooms with the CAT scanners and MRI scanners, and the isolation ward. The worst of which was the isolation ward. It was horrid in there. There were people fastened down to the beds they were on. There were those things surrounding someone, eating him, his screams piercing the air like a dagger. After they left him and moved to the next, I saw what remained. He was completely mutilated. His abdomen was torn to pieces. The same with all his limbs. Everything was effed up. Everything but his face. His eyes were locked onto mine. His lifeless eyes. I watched them go from bed to bed killing patrons, after which they left through a door that had a label on it in some Latin phrase. It said something along the lines of coitus morforum, was etched into the frames and the metal door itself. Getting curious, I quietly opened the door and crept forward. That's when I heard a groaning from the first guy eaten. He began to twitch and mutter some unintelligible things. I'd assumed that it was Latin because after about a minute of me cowering behind the door, he got up and began to move around in such a way that I can only describe as jerky, with an inhuman posture. Like he was bent in ways where his spine would have been broken in two. As he began his labored journey across the door, one of the things came out and drug him away by his exposed spine. As they pulled, he made a shriek that rivaled that of a banshee's. I did my best to run as quietly as possible after seeing that. I had no intentions of being snatched. When I had gotten back to the room that I'd been camping out in, I jumped over the barricade, hiding as the sounds of multiple heavy footsteps came my way in rapid succession. 2 steps for every breath I took. As I sat there, shaking with fear and anger, I hopped back on the computer and decided to see if I could find an IP address. And lo and behold, it told me. I managed to find instructions on how to track IPs to exact locations. Granted, this computer looks like it was made in the 90s. When I looked up my location on Google Earth is when things became even more confusing. What the hell? I said in a daze of confusion. How am I in Nevada? I continued. The accident happened in Minnesota. As I said that, I heard a loud crash come from the doorway, and I ducked behind the desk barricade I had made. The doctor is back. He knew that I had been hiding somewhere. Now he's just got to search the room for me, and I knew it wouldn't be long before he found me. All I could do was sit and listen to his labored breathing and heavy steps. He eventually got to my area, but he didn't search it. I could feel the warmth of his breath. I could smell the rotting flesh from his past victims emanating from his breath. That happened about an hour ago. I can hear more than just one pair of footsteps, the doctor's included. I'll post again when I find the time.